So it's December 17th today, and I've been wanting to say this for a while, and I recently said that the virus spreading is the fault of people, and it is, and of course, the existence of this virus and how it's had an impact on the people-primate proto-civilizations that are not stabilized yet is because of the way that they interact with the natural world. Through their human chauvinism and anthropocentrism, as if they own everything and everything is theirs to control and consume. So that's accurate. That's the beginning of more of these types of viruses. And of course, the spreading part is because of the social systems that operate through a lack of accountability. It operates through a lack of understanding as a majority of the species with scientific paradigms. And it's been what people are saying, it's been 9 months now, and people are still treating this natural reaction in the natural world that is not that hard to understand. What's hard to understand is why they don't see it that way. The people primates, the Homo communia, is they still see this virus as some sort of a foreign terrorist, that has actually been part of the natural world, these types of organisms or replicating systems like viruses. So I'm still looking for jobs, and I see, not just in Canada but a lot of countries, but Canada is so bad that most of what's going wrong in Canada is related to certain industries. And let's just talk to the ones that are education and mental health, which is what I'd be more applying for. And I can see again that there's no changes in paradigms that create low quality in these social systems. Nobody's adapting, nobody's doing anything different. They all think just more money is required, or a vaccine, or just posting a rainbow somewhere on your property. And it's very sad. And again, this is such an easy adaptation, even compared to our own ancestors that we would consider to be cavemen, that we're capable of doing. And again, we're not having the right conversations about what the pandemic really is. And it's so sad. And it'd be nice to discover a country that says, our researchers, whether they're socio-cyberneticists or any doctors of humanics that I've never met, and definitely they would not have been trained in Japan. And the socio-cyberneticists are probably not from Italy if they're really what they think they are. So I don't know of any country that actually is receiving from their specialists the right kind of research and patterns and demonstrations and workshops and TED Talks to say this is what the real pandemic is. And yes, you did get off very easy, and it just scared you about looking at yourselves in the mirror in every country of the world, and others could see too, of who you really are. And then, oh my God, as soon as we can put the mirror back down and continue our denial about the lack of maturation and the lack of human thinking tools we have, and let's keep avoiding the posts of Martin, right? Let's keep thinking that listening to this stuff is pretty intense, even though Martin proved his sense of humor, and I've also proven my skill sets, and I've also proven my ability to commit to projects and to solutions that I know are the right ones with the right kind of passion. So let's continue avoiding him, because it's pretty intense, even though he also demonstrates skill sets that would make it less intense for us, and that also would take the steps required if I ever found anybody passionate enough to apply solutions based on this day and age and based on these diseases that I've been talking about for a long time, which are the real problems, the types of mental illnesses that affect majorities and that have gotten worse. Yes, it's pretty scary hearing, if we're going to believe everything that I say, is that, we've passed all tipping points. But again, any other species would die or take on sacrifices for their children. And we don't. We really can't even find our children and grandchildren as a motivation to start at least working on mitigation ventures with somebody like me. honestly and openly with courage and conviction of the heart. It's still, let's survive a few more days together and maybe go shopping later and feel better and then get back into the denial. And you've put so much energy in your image of who you are as individuals, as societies, as cultures, as nations, as a species, that you've put 10 times more energy over the last hundreds of years to convince yourselves and others of who you are than it would have taken to actually do the personal development work, do the work of your own specific psychohistories, create the cultures where your kids have a chance to become human. Because if there's very few people like me, like I believe there are, you need in these mitigation ventures to get them together to work on projects. And of course, you can't franchise such a thing very quickly. It has to be slow. Quality is work. But that's what being human is, and that's what this hardware is capable of. But again, we've regressed here. We've regressed in using the higher functions of our brain. So it would take a lot more than one generation to get this back. And even if we fail, don't your kids deserve your efforts? Don't your kids deserve to suffer less or die less? Or even wonder why would a parent that loves me bring me into the world when the data was available that this is what the world was going to keep getting into? And why do they want to change the subject all the time and put 100% effort in changing the subject when all I ask from them is 10% effort from making one step forward every day? So it's very weird you're doing this. And the scariest data is really the lack of changes in your mental health and education paradigm.